two Republican delegates recently attempted to ban corporate lobbyists from the RNC. Now, this is reported from The Intercept. Quote, Republican state representatives Marianne Kinney of Maine and Cindy Pugh of Minnesota introduced an amendment at a Rules Committee session that would ban registered lobbyists for-profit entities from serving as members of the Republican National Committee. Kinney, Marianne Kinney, who was a Ted Cruz delegate, by the way, said, quote, this amendment is meant to keep those with the financial stake in being on the RNC. Nonprofit lobbyists are exempt. Okay, so nonprofit lobbyists. Let me explain who those are. Those are people who, for example, are part of pro-life groups, right? That are nonprofits. They go around. Here's my issue. I'm going to go talk to my congressman. We're not for profit. We're going to talk to our congressman because we believe in life. Okay, life begins at conception. Okay, there you go. I guess that makes sense coming from a Ted Cruz delegate, because that's actually a really big issue because Ted Cruz is a huge social conservative. Okay, I got that. Now, Pugh said, as a state representative, I've witnessed firsthand the influence of paid lobbyists. Who's also a Cruz delegate, by the way. I didn't mention that. Our Republican Party should be giving voice to everyday hardworking citizens and not giving in to the voices of insider lobbyists. So, look, those are strong words, especially for a Republican. And I gave partial credit to Ted Cruz for calling to overturn Citizens United. Now, he made me take back that credit by also calling to eliminate all limits on fundraising. I guess he just preferred that we skip having to go through all the loopholes and all the bullshit with super PACs and just, hey, you know what? I want to get my bribes directly from billionaires and the corporations. Why do you got to make me do this elaborate dance when I just want to take the money? I just want them to hand me the money and then I can take it and everything's good. Okay, fair enough. What do you expect from Ted Cruz? What do you expect from a lot of Republicans? Now, as I said, I bring that up because these are Cruz delegates. Now, nonetheless, these representatives have the right idea. Does it make sense at all to allow lobbyists to be part of the RNC? Or to be part of the DNC, for example? No, it doesn't make any sense. There's a conflict of interest there. Now, Pugh also said, on that same vein, Republicans need to make a bold statement that we stand in contrast and have higher standards than the other side. Well, that's important because just recently, and I've reported on this, the DNC struck down an Obama rule that banned lobbyists from serving inside the DNC. When Obama got elected, he said, well, one of his campaign promises was, I'm not going to let people who are lobbyists serve in the cabinet or serve anywhere in my administration. I'm not going to go with the lobbyists. Okay, that was good. That was bold. Now that Obama's leaving, Debbie Wasserman Schultz said, hey, you know what? We could use that sweet, sweet corporate money. So yes, I'm going to roll back this rule so that I can raise millions of dollars from corporations and lobbyists. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, now, what happened when they tried to strike down this rule? Or when they tried to do this amendment, that would strike down lobbyists from serving in the RNC? Well, it shouldn't surprise you any, since this is the Republican Party, that this was immediately smacked down, and smacked down hard. From The Intercept. An objection was raised by a California delegate, Harmeet Dillon, who works as a corporate lawyer and serves as both the Trump delegate and vice chair to the California GOP. He said, quote, banning people from participating in politics because of their chosen profession is un-American. And I apologize, that's actually a woman. Un-American. Strong words. Quote, once we single out lobbyists, we're looking at singling out other potential disfavored professions, such as plaintiffs' lawyers, such as used car salesmen, such as farmers, people don't like. Now, that last part is kind of a poke at Marianne Kinney. Marianne Kinney, as well as being a Cruz delegate, she's also a farmer. It's a little poke there. Interesting. Now, to that I say, dude, you're missing the point. See, lobbyists are paid to bribe politicians on Capitol Hill on behalf of corporations and special interests. Many former politicians, once done with office, go back into lobbying. That's what we call the revolving door. Now, that also creates a clear conflict of interest. That's the problem here. A farmer turned politician or a used car salesman turned politician, they don't have that same conflict of interest when they run for office. They don't have that same conflict of interest as a lobbyist. Okay? Now, another corporate lawyer, are you seeing a trend here? Mike Stewart, the co-chair of Donald Trump's West Virginia campaign, rose in opposition to the amendment as well. Quote, I truly believe that every state should be able to determine its representatives to the RNC. Whether that be 3 priests, 3 pastors, 3 lobbyists, 3 coal miners, or 3 coal miners from southern West Virginia. It's a states' rights issue. No, dude. It is a corruption issue. For all the reasons that I said before. It is a clear conflict of interest if you have lobbyists that are serving as part of the RNC. That is a problem. Now, I want to point out something else. Notice how these are Trump delegates. Well, wait a minute. I thought Donald Trump didn't like special interests or lobbyists. No, come on, dude. Trump is a special interest. Or at least he was until he ran for president. Now, he even famously gave to Hillary Clinton. You're going to trust this guy to be against corporate money and against lobbying in politics? Come on, dude. You've got to be kidding me. No. What Donald Trump is doing, Trump is using this issue, an issue that is deeply unpopular, right? Going against that issue of lobbyists, because lobbyists are not popular, okay? Congress is not popular. So both things that are incredibly unpopular, and guess what? Trump comes out and says, I'm against both of those things. He's using this issue to advance himself. You know he's not going to do anything about corruption, about money in politics, about lobbying. You know it, and if you don't know that, well, then you don't know Donald Trump well enough. Now, I want to go back to the article here. This is Gwen Bowen, a Louisiana Cruise delegate, had praised the amendment for its optics. Quote, there's a lot of lobbyists on this committee right now, and you know we have a media watching. Ooh, the media is watching. We got to be careful. We got to be for this amendment because the media, they're going to come out. They're going to come after us. I love how they're so afraid. They're so afraid of the media. What happened? Strong conservatives. They're so afraid of a camera. Anyway, she continues. And so we have an opportunity to say the Republican Party is a grassroots party, and it's the grassroots people who are going to make the decision for the rules. Not the lobbyists, the paid lobbyists. Okay, well, Illinois delegate Demetra DeMonte called the amendment, quote, well-intended, but not practical. I think it's going to open up a Pandora's box. Well, wait a minute. Preventing lobbyists from serving in the RNC, that's going to open up the Pandora's box. And as if unleashing millions of dollars in corporate money with Citizens United wasn't a Pandora's box? I know, apples and oranges, Jeff. Apples and oranges. Oregon delegate Solomon Yu said, quote, we have conflicts of interest here. You have paid lobbyists. They're paid to lobby for a third party for profits and for favorable regulations. That is crony capitalism. Take a look at our nominee Donald Trump's message. How he got here, how he got where he is today. I'm supporting this measure. Okay. Now he's right, but once again, when it comes to Trump and the Republican Party, they're as corporatist as the Democratic Party, and then some. They're not the party of the grassroots. They're the party of the AstroTurf. And that, of course, brings me to the unsurprising end result. For all the great rhetoric, this got crushed. After 45 minutes of debate, the committee voted down the amendment to bar lobbyists. RNC spokesman Audrey Scagnelli told The Intercept that the Kinney-Pugh amendment was not just defeated, but defeated overwhelmingly. Oh, well, of course. Did you actually expect differently? It's amazing how disconnected both of the parties are. The American people, left, right, and center, hate lobbyists. And they hate the issue of money in politics. They think corporations and special interests have too much influence on our elections. But nonetheless, the Democrats and the Republicans decide, yeah, we're not going to listen to that. We're just going to continue to take their money anyway. Genius. And now, if this amendment failing isn't clear enough on where the Republican Party stands, quote, an amendment to the amendment that would simply have required that they disclose their lobbying activities to the RNC also failed. What? Disclose? You mean you want me to tell everyone who's been bribing me? No, I can't even do that. I mean, why should I have to tell you plebs who I really serve? Man, if it's not abundantly clear by now who Republicans and Democrats actually serve, then you're not paying attention.